champions, the World Tournament of Champions, and of course the American Bowling Congress Masters Championships. He won both of those. And that's a lot of money, and they're both major tournaments. And like I said, I think he's unstoppable.
Well, I tell you, if he's unstoppable, he's going to have to get by last year's Bowler of the Year in Norm Duke, a very confident Bryan Goebel, and a very hungry Mark Williams. And in the opening match, he's going to take on the best bowler in the senior world, John Handegard. Mike Aulby preparing for his opening shot in the first match on lanes 29 and 30. And Earl, the lanes, the bowlers say, are a lot tighter tonight than they've been all week long.
Yeah, and that could be a benefit. We talked about that a little bit earlier. It could be a benefit to maybe John Handegard because he likes to roll the ball up, doesn't like the ball to hook a lot in the back. This guy right here, he don't care what they're like. He just keeps throwing strikes. Well, this time he didn't. The 6-8.
You know, I watched him practice for almost an hour. He never left the 6-8 the whole time, and he starts it right off with a 6-8. You're the left-hander. How do you make it?
Well, first of all, you get very upset at yourself because you left a 6-8, but he's going to go cross lane at this, try to hook the ball just enough. Actually, I used to line up, try to make the 10-pin. Just pretend I was shooting the 10-pin, try to get just a little piece of the 6, slide it into the 8.
The odds?
For Mike Aulby, probably 1 in 5.
Well, that wasn't one of the ones, and he's open in the first frame with 9 out. Kind of has to pump Handegard up as he starts his first match. You know, he hasn't made the telecast in the national tour in quite a while.
But he's very comfortable in front of the television cameras. John's made a lot of shows on the senior tour. Cameras look the same to him.
A little tight, leaves the 4-pin. You know, if John wins tonight, he'll be the oldest bowler in PBA history to win a national stop, beating Buzz Fazio by a few months.
Well, he's got his job cut out for him with 4 of the best players on the tour waiting to ambush him, you might say.
Cross lane at the 4-pin, straight at it, no trouble.
We're going to take a look at John's game. This is one of the finest games you'll see anywhere. John's the hardest worker I know of on the senior tour. You get a look at this. It's kind of a classic style. He gets the shoulders out front. See how long, even strides, a long, smooth slide, and look at the perfect balance with the shoulders right over the knee. And that long follow-through. That's how you do it, folks. Copy that game, you can be a good player.
On the left lane. And the solid 10 and a wry smile coming out of John Handegard. John is wearing a microphone. We can catch some of his comments.
Talking to John earlier, he was saying that the left lane for him was quite easy. The right lane a little more difficult. So
he said why?
He said the left lane he felt he could strike more often on. The right lane was a little spotty. The ball didn't react quite as true as he thought it might. The same thing came from Mark Williams when I asked him about the lane. So the tournament leader feels the same way.
Well, Mark told me that all week long the right lanes were a little tighter. Mike Aulby said he had to move his feet, you know, almost 8 boards to the left and change balls. They were that much tighter for him tonight.
That's surprising. It really is. I watched them dress the lanes. They did the same procedure that they used all throughout the tournament. What we have here is an extremely good surface. And we're going to take a look at Mike Aulby's game coming right at you, folks, right into the living room. Look at the high push away. It's not something you want to teach people, but Mike Aulby makes it work for him. That's how he creates timing. Gets a real fluid swing from the shoulder, gets down low over his knee and stays there. And look at him rotate that ball. And that's what gets that big back end for him. The rotation with his wrist.
It's gotten him 23 titles.
It's going to get him some more, too.
Oh, man, a solid 7. So lane 29 right now gives him the 6-8 and the solid 7.
I wonder if he made a little move on that. Maybe changed his release a little bit. You can see he's changing bowling balls, getting something that won't hook.
And we see that he's in the 73rd career TV appearance. 74 and 49 his record with a 222 average. Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. John Handegard looking for his first strike of the match.
And John has to feel pretty good right now. The fact that Mike Aulby has started with that 6-8 and can't seem to get anything going strike-wise, because once Aulby gets going, no stopping it. So John's got to get it going now.
slapped that 10 right out of there, didn't he?
A little different release on that one. Did you notice that? He got around the side of that ball a little bit more. The first ball he threw here on the right-hand lane in the first frame seemed like it hung on his thumb a little bit. You could hear it kind of pop coming out of the ball. Didn't get real good rotation on it. That was the John Handegard we know right there.
So he likes to get that thumb out quickly.
He likes to get the ball in the lane very quickly. He likes to get it down early and let it kind of roll up and set up in the pocket area. He doesn't like the ball to be cutting through the pin. See how that rolled up and set there?
Boy, that did set right at the pocket. Handegard has a double. He also has the lead in our opening match. Mike Aulby will be back, and we will right after these messages.
Your car doesn't look, doesn't feel, doesn't smell brand new anymore. The thrill is gone. Get it back with new vinyl. New vinyl conditions, restores, and protects vinyl and leather. There's no rubbing, no buffing. New vinyl penetrates and dries in seconds. You get a protective finish and a showroom feel that's so real you can smell it. Just like a brand new car. But all that was easy. Watch new vinyl make the seat of this junkyard car look like new. Now it's softer, more supple. Even gives these tires a showroom shine. So whether your car's really old or just feeling old, new vinyl will bring it back fast. There's only one new vinyl. It's guaranteed. Want it back? That new car feeling? It's yours with new vinyl.
There's nothing like new vinyl. Available at Pep Boys, Rite Aid, True Value, Ace, Western Auto, Eckerd, Walgreens, Kmart, and other leading stores.
The PBA Northwest Classic is being brought to you by new vinyl. No rubbing, no buffing. You get longer lasting protection in half the time. Mike Aulby up on lane 30. Struck on this lane in the second frame. And there's his second strike. Well, he's certainly tuned into the pocket.
He is, especially on the right-hand lane. You know, it's kind of interesting that the right-handers say that lane 30, the right-hand lane, is a little more difficult for them. It appears that Mike Aulby likes it the best. So the left-hander seems to like it better than the right-hander.
Well, that happens quite frequently.
It does, and it's kind of interesting to note that because the back end or the last 15 feet of the lane don't seem to be creating as much friction for the right-handers as lane 29 is, whereas Mike Aulby likes to make the ball finish. He likes that kind of a back end.
And we see him trailing by 20, can cut into that lead, cut it down to 10 with a double here. Knocks that 7-pin out, sends a message to Handegard that he better keep striking.
Well, this is vintage Mike Aulby. Watch the ball reaction, gets it well down the lane before it makes that right turn without signaling, but watch the kick off the wall. He kicks that 7-pin out, and that's his reaction, and you've seen that many times. Again, John gets the ball well out on the lane, and when he does that, he doesn't strike. It's almost, you can almost call it. When John gets the ball well out in front of him, it almost never strikes.
Solid 10 that he leaves right there.
And I think if I could tell John why it doesn't strike, he'd love me, but I don't know why it doesn't strike. Just
cross lane at the 10-pin. Earlier I had a chance to ask John what a win on the national tour tonight would mean to him.
Probably the most exciting thing ever happened to me. Normally when they ask me what's the most exciting thing that's happened to you in bowling, I leave it blank because it hasn't happened yet. Should I win tonight, that would be it, that's for sure.
Well, for it to happen, he's going to have to find a way to knock down that 10-pin.
He is, and he's going to have a little help from Alby because Alby's got it going now, and there's a way to knock it down, Mike. You called it.
Send the messenger at it.
Oh, the pin action you dream of right there.
Coming from the oldest player in the field. John, 57 years of age. Mike Aulby here, 35. You know, what a lot of people don't realize is Mike only made $32,000 last year. He really had an off year for him.
He's the most streaky player for such a successful player I think I've ever seen, Mike. He can get it going like he is right now. The streak he's in right now, winning the Brunswick World Tournament of Champions, the American Bowling Congress Masters Championship, chance to win 3 in a row right here. He can get this going, but it's just amazing how he can lose it, too.
Don't forget, tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, we've got the Tour de France coming up, presented by Michelin. Alby's taking a 1-pin lead, trying to increase it to 11 pins. And the message got cut off.
It sure did. That scout got shot down right there. That was coming, though. Alby looks to me like he's having more trouble with the left lane because he has to hook it more. The ball coming from a bigger arc angle, maybe getting him behind the head pin a little bit.
Cross lane at the 7-pin. If he converts it, we've got an even match.
Even match, but in my opinion, advantage John Handegard right now.
There's our YABA winner, Garrett Quinlan. He's a junior bowler that's the winner here. We'll be right back after these messages.
I've been racing a modified Saturn Coupe for about 3 years now. The way the Saturn performs is a big reason why we've won so many races. It's got a dual overhead cam engine and good weight distribution. It also has a first-rate pit crew. They're a bunch of good kids. They travel with us as a reward for staying out of trouble and staying in school. They do such a good job, I'd like to introduce them to you. Nice-looking guys, aren't they?
At J.B. Hostetter & Sons Inventory Liquidation, you'll save up to 30% off already low sale prices. All hardware, housewares, plumbing, and electrical. 30% off just about everything. Paint, automotive, lawn, and garden supplies. All sales, final cash and carry. J.B. Hostetter & Sons, 30% off only at 1 Center Square, Elizabethtown.
I urge you to have your children immunized against polio, measles, mumps, diphtheria, and hepatitis B. For information, call the American Liver Foundation, 1-800-223-0179.
We're back. John Handegard trying for a double in the lead in the match. We have an excellent crowd here at Celebrity Bowl. As we said, they had a very successful tournament all week long.
Got him all that time.
And he got it off his hand quicker, didn't he?
He sure did. And he's a master at getting the ball down on the lane and not having it quit on him. It's amazing he can play this extreme angle that he's playing, clear outside the second arrow, kind of going up at the pocket, keep the ball on line. And John, like I mentioned earlier, John Handegard, one of the hardest working players you'll ever see. Practices constantly, really works on his physical conditioning.
10 pins ahead, wants to increase it to 20 with one more here.
John's giving the kids a little bit of their own stuff here. He's saying, look, guys, I can get that 5-pin out, too.
Dicing him up there.
Well, Mike Aulby's got all he can handle right here. He probably feels like he's bowling his father, but so be it.
Well, Mike is 35 years of age.
Yeah, that's 22 years difference.
Earlier, I had a chance to ask Mike Aulby if he thought that 1995 was like 1989. This is what he had to say.
Well, it'd be a good finish for that, but, you know, I really don't look that far ahead. I don't want to take anything for granted out here because it can wake up the next morning and everybody's back to zero. So I just go out and work as hard as I can every week and see what happens at the end of the year, and hopefully we're still standing.
He truly is one player that takes it one shot at a time, doesn't he?
He is. He's a wonderful, has a wonderful ability to concentrate on one shot and not let anything that's happened bother him.
Hooked a little early and left that 6-pin, didn't it?
Looked like he tried to make a little adjustment there, get the ball to get into the pocket a little higher. Remember we talked, it might be a little bit behind, leaving the 7-pin behind the head pin. Here's a look at that shot. Looks like he got a little more forward roll on this ball. Didn't quite get as much side revolutions. The ball got up a little high in the head pin. You see the 6-pin. Remember the first frame, almost on the same hit, the ball was charging with a little more side spin. Snapped, hooked a little bit on the back, left the 6-8.
He had company that time.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting. That's one time that he might have been looking for the rollout shot, and it didn't happen.
Didn't happen. We had a little problem with the 6-pin. They're going to have to reset it up for us here. And, of course, the mechanics here at Celebrity Lanes know what they're doing. It won't take but just a second here. Mike Aulby probably hasn't missed the 6-pin in about 5 years. Maybe we should just give it to him. That's a gimme. Is it a gimme, you think?
Well, next week, we're going to be in Portland, Oregon for the Oregon Open. That's July 18th, 9 o'clock Eastern Time.
The Rose City, my home area. I love it there.
Mike Aulby at the 6-pin. As you said, he hasn't missed it probably ever.
Well, I wouldn't say ever. Well, here's a chance for John Handegard to really put the hurt on Mike Aulby. A couple of strikes here, and we'll see you later, Mr. Alby.
And he's up, what, 20 pins right now?
That would have been a winner, I believe, if he had struck. But now it's still up for grabs. Alby with a possible 218. John Handegard going at a 227 pace.
Basically, though, all he needs is a mark in the 10th frame. Convert this 4-pin and mark in the 10th frame. The left lane's his best lane, too, right?
In his opinion, it definitely is.
Uh-oh. And he misses the 4-pin. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Off into that, maybe.
John's fiancée, Nancy Word.
You know, in John's last event, the Senior Masters Championship, he missed the spare. Remember, that cost him basically what we feel is the championship. Here's a look at that shot. Remember, the lane condition is a very smooth surface. These lanes were just resurfaced, May 22nd, so the surface is very smooth, very flat, and the oil then actually get less friction, and John just didn't get the ball to move. He needs a strike desperately now.
He can lose the match now.
He can lose the match, and not only that, but, you know, when you've got something going the way Mike Aulby's got it going, sometimes things just go your way. Here's an opportunity for him to win this match, and he was sitting on the bench, I'm sure, in his mind thinking, John's not going to open. Right. He's not going to miss a 4-pin.
Will he make the 10? No trouble with the 10. Well, it's a sick feeling when you miss a spare like that against a bowler that is as hot as Mike Aulby, against any quality bowler.
And he's finishing on his good lane. Yeah. Aulby likes lane 30 much more than lane 29, and count is very important here. The pin count here, possible 215 for John Handegard. Mike Aulby, a possible 218. So he needs to get every stick.
Knocks the 10-pin out of there.
Well, he said his dream was to win. The most exciting thing could happen to him would be to win a tournament like this, and he could have just given that opportunity away to the hottest player in the world right now, Mike Aulby.
Hasn't missed this lane this game until now.
Wait a minute. Oh, my.
Wow.
I bet John Handegard's heart stopped for a second when that pin was rolling across.
Unbelievable that he would throw it through the nose like that, Earl.
It's unbelievable that Mike Aulby would do that. You'll never see him hardly ever do this in a situation where he needs to hit the pocket, especially on a lane that he was lined up on. How often are you going to see John Handegard miss the 4-pin when he needs it?
The guy's feeling the pressure a little bit out there?
Very possible. Take another look at that first shot by Mike Aulby. He looks like he got to the foul line well. Good timing here. Nice free swing. Shot looks good to me. I don't know what happened to this shot. This ball just rolled up on him, rolled up real high. Maybe he gave it a little extra at the bottom. You can see his look of, really, that's a look of disgust, you might say. Mike, just too good a player to let that happen. So maybe it's going to be Handegard's day. Who knows?
So John Handegard defeats Mike Aulby 215 to 205. Well, we got a nice average builder coming up, Earl. You need to pay attention to this. We'll be right back with that right after these messages.
Distinctive, comfortable clothing fits today's active and demanding lifestyle. Add fashion, quality, and flair, and you've got PBA Tour Apparel. PBA Tour Apparel, made in America, is clearly the choice of champions, like PBA Player of the Year, Norm Duke. Activewear with American-made quality and style and recognizable value. Call 1-800-521-5212 to place your order for PBA Tour Apparel or your free catalog. PBA Tour Apparel by King Louie, the striking difference.
Want to try New Pert Plus?
No way. I tried it years ago. My hair needs a separate conditioner.
This new stuff cleans and conditions better than back then.
But it's still a shampoo and conditioner in one.
Wrong. It's a shampoo and precise blend of several conditioners, individually balanced for every kind of hair.
We'll see. Well, it is actually better. I can feel it.
New Pert Plus in 5 precise new formulas.
When sports cream, when arms are sore, when legs ache, when muscles hurt. Why Sports Cream? Massaging Sports Cream in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell, no odor. Why Sports Cream? Because it works.
There's a smile in every Hershey bar. The Yankees are looking to come out swinging after the All-Star break. But will the Bronx Bombers still be dancing in October? Only if their pitching holds up. Out in KC, Vince Coleman's found his stroke, and the Royals are thinking wild card. Buck and the Yanks take on the Royals at the stadium. Wednesday Night Baseball, tomorrow on ESPN.
Golfers on the Pro Golf Tour have to learn to both draw the ball and fade the ball in order to compete out there. Pro bowlers have to do similar things with their hand release, learning how to hook the ball more or less in order to compete with the competition on the Pro Bowlers Tour. And we have 3 bowlers on our telecast tonight that are exceptional at subtle hand changes that enable them not only to compete, to be champions on the Pro Bowlers Tour. And those 3 bowlers are our tournament leader, Mark Williams, our 3rd place qualifier and last year's Bowler of the Year, Norm Duke, and our 5th place qualifier and last year's Senior Bowler of the Year, John Handegard. Now, both Williams and Duke naturally like to hook the ball a lot. And from watching them, it appears that the way they do this is they have a very firm or slightly cupped wrist with their hand basically behind the ball with their fingers either at 6 or 7 o'clock. And as they let go with it, the wrist stays firmer in that cupped position, and the fingers rotate gently around the ball to either 4 or 3 o'clock, giving the ball some side turn to help it come back into the 1-3 pocket. But that's not the only shot that they have. They both can throw the ball straight at either spares or on their first ball if the lane tells them to do that. And the way that they do that is, again, the hand is behind the ball, but as they let go of it this time, it's either, the fingers are either at 7 or 6, and they make like a 1-digit turn from 6 to 5. But basically, the ball rolls forward as it's going down the lane, and the lane draws the ball into the 1-3 pocket. Now, John Handegard doesn't hook the ball as much as these 2 other guys, but he makes subtle changes in the amount of turn or spin that he puts on the ball to make the ball roll earlier or later down the lane that enables him to compete not only on the Senior Tour, but as we can see here, on the National Tour as well. The point being that these 3 players have elevated their game to championship level, and one of the ways that they have done it is through subtle changes in their hand release. And if you're looking to increase your average that 10 pins up, one way that you can do it is by practicing different hand releases. Hooking a little more, throwing a little straighter, and if you'll work hard at that and practice it diligently, that average will go up. We're going to Portland, Oregon next week. We'll be on the air at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, and we'll have another average builder. See you then. John Handegard is holding up the seniors. Now he has to take on the Bowler of the Year, Norm Duke. We'll see how it comes out right after this.
You're beautiful. You're everything I ever wanted.
If you love your car, what you put on it should be more than just a wax. New Zymol Natural Liquid Auto Polish protects your finish with beeswax and shines with rare Brazilian carnauba. Safe, naturally derived ingredients, so pure, powerful, perfect.
Oh, so beautiful.
New Zymol Natural Liquid Auto Polish.
If you're like most guys, you probably don't have a clue what conditioners do for hair.
Got me.
But what if I told you they help hair lay right, stay in place, smooth flyaways?
Conditioners do that?
That's right. And there's no better time to see for yourself than now. With new Perk Plus shampoo and conditioner in one. Reformulated with some of the most advanced cleaners and conditioners out there. For much more manageable hair than regular shampoo with no more work. So what do you think?
You know, I think I could get used to this.
New Perk Plus. Great hair, no fuss.
Oh, summer kind of makes you want to eat outside, doesn't it? Well, with Long John Silver's new Big Fish Feast, it's no picnic.
It's a party! It's our famous Fish and More multiplied to feed 4. Legendary batter-dipped fish, fries, coleslaw, hush puppies, plus golden corn. Perfect
For a tasteful family outing or an
outrageous eating adventure. And it's an outstanding deal for less than $3 a meal. Now at Long John Silver's. And hurry in for our value meals starting at $1.99.
Second match. John Handegard continuing his march up the ladder. Joining us in the booth is former PBA Player of the Year. Hold this week. Brian Voss, how'd you do this week?
Not bad. 18th.
18th?
Not bad.
Okay.
Well, John got that, he got that first match under his belt, guys, and it looks like he's getting a little looser out there, and Norm Duke's going to have his hands full. That's my opinion.
And we can see Brian Boss right here joining us, and that'll be our...
The good-looking guy in the middle is Brian Boss.
What? I thought the old guy here. How old are you now?
36 and climbing.
Oh, you're close to that 40 age, aren't you? Norm Duke taking the entire approach. Duke looks like he's got it back together now, Brian.
He sure does. He led a tournament over in Japan about a month and a half ago, led by more than 400 pins against 287 other players. And, he's still doing it.
Why do you think that he struggled up to that point, though, this year?
You can look back at last year's Player of the Year, and you see that a lot when guys win Player of the Year the very next year is a little tough one.
I wonder if maybe that surgery he had on his foot might have bothered him a little bit. You think that might have got him off to kind of a slow start this year?
Well, you never know what's going on in somebody's mind, but I really think that after last year, you have a little lapse. He won 5 times, he won all that money, he just kind of laid back a little bit, and I think he's practicing a lot now.
Did that happen to you the year you had Player of the Year?
No.
You were still hungry, huh? At the 10-pin, no trouble for Norm Duke. John Handegard, who says his goal is to continue the pursuit of the perfect swing. That's our guest here, isn't it? The perfect swing?
Well, there's only been, in my opinion, 4 or 5 really great arm swings in all the years I watched bowling on the tour. One of them, of course, was Jim Stefanich. Dave Davis was another. This guy right here in the middle, Brian Voss, is one of the best I've ever seen. And when you get swings like this, it's hard to imagine how they can ever miss the pocket. John Handegard's another one. His swing is so fluid, the balance so good at the foul line. It's just amazing that he can even miss a spare, much less miss the pocket.
Well, both players starting with strike 10-pin. John Handegard moving to his favorite of the 2 lanes, lane 29.
See, he averaged 227 on this pair throughout the competition during the week. This is a long grind for these guys, and a lot of hard work, a lot of effort going in just getting to this point.
Knocks the 10-pin over this time. What was the carry like this week, Brian?
Carry was very well. A lot of 4-9s for the right-handers, 6-8s for the left-handers. But, when you get kind of scores like we did this week, you got to have good carry.
What do you think the strength of Norm Duke's game is? The best part of his game?
In my opinion...
Look at this. The blowout 7-10. Ladies and gentlemen, that is disaster. You think you've got a strike, and all of a sudden you've got something that's impossible to pick up. You get a look at his wife, Karen. She can't believe it either.
That was a pretty tough break, but Norm Duke, in the last 3 years, when he developed a release that allowed him to go around the boards with the best of them. And since he's learned how to do that, he's been really unstoppable.
He people say he throws that slow boat that goes out and comes back. Just to let everybody know what's happening, I'm Mike Durbin along with Earl Anthony. We're here in Kennewick, Washington at the Celebrity Bowl as the PBA continues on ESPN in the first match. John Handegard defeated Mike Aulby by the score of 215 to 205. Now he faces Norm Duke, and he's up in the match. And we're in the 4th frame as Norm Duke strikes.
I think there's players that have the ability to make the same shot over and over again, and there's guys like Norm that go out there and just try and do whatever they can to the ball to create the largest margin of error.
Well, he was always one of the strongest players going up and at the pocket. I always felt Norm Duke, you give him anything out near the channel, and he just beats you to death.
Yeah.
You were one of those guys that could always play that shot tremendously well. The 2 of you guys had some great matches playing out there on that 5-boarder near the channel. Like you say, he's developed the ability to cross boards with the best of them now. So he's probably one of the more complete players, don't you feel?
Absolutely.
And he's always had a lot of courage under pressure.
John Handegard converts the 7-pin. Leads by 13 right now as we enter the 5th frame.
John looks pretty loose out there. I don't think he's missed the pocket yet.
The scores that they had, though, these 5 players averaged over 238 on this pair during the week. She continues to strike on lane 29. No trouble there.
Norm Duke was making a few adjustments in the thumb hole there. Maybe he's having a little problem with it, but he's so used to making those adjustments, you might say, on the fly and getting ready to go again. And look at that average on the television pair, ladies and gentlemen, 254.
Had trouble, didn't he?
Yeah. A little adjustment there. A little more ball speed, huh, Brian? A little more direct?
I think he moved a little right and decided to go a little bit straighter.
Well, why do you do that right in the middle of the match after you hit the pocket the first? The 7-10 made him do that?
I think so. I think the ball came in a little late for him, and that pocket hit the 7-10, and he felt like he had to get the ball into the pocket at a more direct angle. We're going to take a look at his style. The Norm Duke, this is a guy that Brian Voss has said can play anywhere on the lane with the best of them. Here's a look at him. You can see his heels hanging over the back of the approach. He takes 6 big steps here to get to the foul line. Remember, he's only about 5'8", and got them all down that time. Great shot.
Right back in the lead, just like that. Norm Duke leads by 7. John Handegard coming up in the 6th frame. We'll see how this match comes out right after this.
Hold it. This isn't you, it's an older guy.
Oh, that was before I got rid of my gray hair with Just for Men hair color.
Come on, that's too natural to be hair coloring.
Just for Men. Apply and in 5 minutes rinse. Gray is blended away for a totally natural look.
Think it'll work for me?
In 5 minutes.
Just for Men looks too natural to be hair coloring. And now try Just for Men Color Gel for the hard-to-color hair of mustaches and beards. Brush in, rinse out. Just 5 minutes.
Here's an uplifting thought for the weary traveler. Come home to Sealy's most advanced Posturepedic ever for the back support you need. Now, the only foundation made from steel beams, not wood, is redesigned to be even stronger. Now, Sealy has a more sensitive sense and respond coil system, and its patented sensory arm senses and cushions your movement, then responds to your weight with increasing support, correct support, making Sealy America's favorite destination. Posturepedic support, only from Sealy.
Friday night at 8:30 Eastern, Michael Nunn meets Warren Williams in a super middleweight bout. Top Rank Boxing on ESPN.
This is the Millionaires Club. Mike Aulby. This guy just goes on and on, but he's such an up and down player, Mike. If he had good years back to back, he'd probably be over $2 million by now.
I don't know. It looks pretty good to me. And here's another part of the list, and our guest here tonight, Brian Voss, is almost $1.4 million right now. Earl Anthony at the top of that list. He was the first to get there.
Haven't got any of it left either. And here's the youngest player to ever become one of these millionaires, Parker Bone, at the age of 31. He'll be 32 this coming Thursday. So we want to say happy birthday to Parker Bone III.
And if Norm Duke wins this match, he joins him. But John Handegard's going to try and prevent that as he takes the lead back by 3 pins. Big shot there for Handegard because Duke seems wired. He's averaging 250 on this pair. He can strike out for that.
Especially on the right-hand lane. That was a big shot for him. The left-hand lane, John seems to be more comfortable there. He seems to think he can strike better. He's making a better release because he's more comfortable, I think. He's getting out of the ball better on the left-hand lane. Watch this ball roll up and set right there.
Oh!
My, solid
hello. John says hello. That's what the 8-pin says to him.
Let's take a look at this. Watch what happens here. The ball goes just dead flush in the pocket. The head pin almost got to the 8. Just jumped around it. Just like you said, Mike, the true tap in the game of bowling.
I never have believed that myself. Up to 2. No.
Bad rack, right?
Bad rack, always. At the 8-pin, cuts his lead to 2, but boy, his fiancé says, why now?
Why now is right. Norm Duke is lined up. He's made a great adjustment on the lanes. Brian Voss noticed that he was going more direct, a little more ball speed. All of a sudden, he's striking.
Oh, knocks that 10-pin out slick as a whistle.
And here's the different releases you were talking about.
Absolutely.
Look at this. Duke's big 880. 300 to tie Purvis Granger, 300 to tie Doug Wallace, and in both of those 300 games, he was the last player to finish.
I saw both of those. It was...
And he loses to Bryan Goebel. He's saying, what do you have to do to win here?
You can bet if he gets by this match, there's going to be a little grudge in Bryan Goebel and him.
Trying for another one here. That didn't happen here, by the way, as he leaves a solid 10, keeping Handegard in the match. That's happened throughout his career. One of those matches happened here, though.
One of them was last night. We got to watch that last night. He had to strike out in the 10th, 11th, and 12th to tie. It was amazing to watch.
And one of them happened last year in Peoria when he led that tournament and went strike, spare out the sheet and lost to Bryan Goebel.
It's pretty tough when you spare the second frame and the match is over, huh?
At the 10 pin, has it dead center. You know, the PBA always does that. They make the wives and the fiancés sit next to one another. They're not looking at each other.
They're not.
They're touching, though. Suppose there's sparks there with those arms?
I got to think so.
Well, that solid 8 is even bigger right now.
Costing 21 pins. Don't forget to join us Wednesday night baseball. It's the Kansas City Royals that are struggling right now against the New York Yankees, trying to get it together. 7:30 Eastern Time.
Here's another look. It looked just exactly like that solid 8, Brian, huh?
Just another great shot. And I tell you, this is a big shot.
9th frame is good lane. Will it carry? Yes.
Get out of there.
Well, he's not backing down to these kids, is he, Brian?
It's wonderful to see somebody his age doing this well. It really is.
You know that if he wins, he's the oldest champion ever. He's Buzz Fazio out.
That would, you know.
And besides that, Brian, he's really not that old. 57 isn't very old, because I'm 57.
Okay.
Of course, you're going to get 57 one of these days, and you won't look any different than you do now, I'm sure.
You know, Norm can strike out, and he can't shut Handegard out.
Got the 10 pin that time.
Knocks it out. Well, it's going to come down. Who can perform in the 10th frame? The difference is 3 pins right now.
Well, Duke needs this next hit just to take the lead in the match, and like Brian said, he can't shut Handegard out.
But the thing is that John's got to finish on his tough lane, the right lane.
And I'm sure because Duke finished higher in the standings, he had the choice of starting lanes, and he had that in mind when he selected that lane.
Thinking all the time. To take the lead. Can't do it any better than that.
My.
Pretty shot. He can do it.
He's got all the releases. He's got all the talent. Look at those eyes, folks. He looks like a predator out there. How'd you like to look into those eyes? Like looking in the eyes of a tiger, huh?
You
He's
bet.
ready.
I think he really wants this one bad, too.
Look at the concentration. This is a must.
Solid 10, meaning Handegard only needs 1.
Sometimes one's harder to get than 2 or 3. You know what?
Yeah. I don't know. What you guys have been in that position before. How would you feel? Would you rather just get 1 or need 2?
Oh, obviously you'd rather get just 1 because, you know, you get the first one, you still got to get another one. That's tough. But sometimes you look past it. You know, it's almost like sometimes it's harder to get a mark than it is to get a strike.
Yeah, I'll
because you
agree
try
with
to play safe sometimes, and that's a mistake. You always have to be aggressive to be a winner. And I'll bet you John attacks the pocket on this shot.
Well,
He will
it'll be
attack the
interesting
pocket.
to see if he gets it out on the lane like you've noticed or whether it comes off freely.
If he doesn't strike, I would guess it'll be a 4-pin because he will attack the pocket.
For the win.
What a great shot.
Got it.
2 down and 2 to go for Big John Handegard.
Well, he still needs 7 pins, 7 spare.
9 pins and it's a winner, right?
9 pins.
And you can bet John Handegard knows exactly what he needs.
He's been getting 9 all day. It's a winner.
Oh, you can't throw it any better.
It's a winner. Norm's million.
Well, John Handegard is the winner here. He'll be in the 230s. When we come back, we'll talk to you about the rest of the summer schedule. Don't you dare touch that flicker, that remote. You stay with us. We'll be right back.
Experience quality and value at Surepine, plus a fantastic free ticket offer to the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair. This week, Green's Premium Ice Cream, $1.99 a half gallon. Dole Fruit Bars or Cool Creations Ice Cream Cups, $1.99 a pack. Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheats, 20-ounce box, just $1.99 with coupon from our ad. 15-ounce Franco-American plain gargoyles or Snookums with meat canned pasta, 2 for 99 cents. And earn free tickets to the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair now at Surepine.
When we graduated, Nancy and I were separated by 1,000 miles.
But having majored in economics, I found a way to make it work. We both bought Saturns.
A long-distance relationship is high maintenance enough. We needed a low-maintenance car.
And it had to be economical. Eventually, we decided to do all our traveling together.
As Nancy's father said,
I'm not losing a daughter.
I'm gaining a Saturn.
Come back. Don't forget to join Craig Kilborn and Keith Oberman when SportsCenter brings you all the highlights of the day, including Mickey Mantle's press conference and up-to-date results of the Tour de France. Next week, we're going to Portland, Oregon, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, July 18th for the Oregon Open. We have several other stops that we'll be going to this summer, including July 25th in Tucson, also 9 o'clock. August 1st, we're in Austin, Texas. Different time there, 7:30. August 8th, we head on to Louisville, Kentucky for the Ebonite Kentucky Classic.
And on to Cleveland, Mike. You ought to be familiar with that one. That's going to be in Bedford, Ohio. And the Bowler's Journal Classic in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania.
And we're going to round out that section with the Senior Championship in Jackson, Michigan. All right, we're here. We're going to thank Brian Voss for joining us for this second match. Brian, you couldn't have seen a better match.
It's been two great matches. I like John's chances. He's looking awful good.
Well, is that your prediction?
That's my prediction.
How about you,
He's got
Earl?
the stamina. You can make it 2 more?
I think so. John's, he goes out there and works hard. He's used to all the bowling, and, he just doubled to be one of the best bowlers in the world, so he's got to feel awful good.
Great observation, Brian.
Well, thanks for joining us, Brian.
Okay, guys.
We'll look forward to seeing you again.
Okay.
Well, we're going to find out if John Handegard can continue his march right up that ladder. He's going to take on Bryan Goebel. We'll find out how that comes out right after this.
Nutrageous from Reese's. Peanuts, milk chocolate, caramel, Reese's peanut butter. Nutrageous. Give your mouth a party.
Lean on me.
Yeah, these little people need you all right. But how about when you're selling your home? Who do you lean on? Call a Century 21 professional.
Football fans, get ready for the all-new 1995 NFL Team Kickoff Kit, free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. Just tell us your favorite team.
Chargers, Cowboys, 49ers, maybe.
And we'll give you an exclusive team video and a fantastic new Sports Illustrated sweatshirt. Your Team Kickoff Kit starts with your official 1995 team video. Find out if your team will thrive in 95.
And we got plenty more where that came from.
You'll also get an incredible SI logo sweatshirt. Yours free through this exclusive TV offer.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Hey, this is great. I'll put it on right now.
Call now. Use your credit card and you'll get 54 issues of Sports Illustrated for only $1.47 an issue. Save over 50% off the cover price. And your incredible Team Kickoff Kit is free. Nobody gives you more of your team than Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
When I bite into a York peppermint patty, I get the sensation I'm leading a team of huskies across the Arctic tundra. The distant glacier sparkle as the cold, crisp air tickles my lips. Mush, you huskies, mush!
York peppermint patty. Get the sensation.
I think it breaks right.
John Handegard defeated Norm Duke 239 to 226 or 225 in the second match. Continues his match. Again, Bryan Goebel's made him finish on that right lane.
I don't think it makes any difference at this point, the way John's going.
Didn't do any good for Duke, did it?
No. I think maybe Bryan Goebel has decided that this is the way it's going to go because he wants to bowl the 10th frame first. I think that's a possibility.
Get that score posted, right?
Get it up there and make John have to do it again. John's very good under pressure, as he's shown. You know, he made the telecast needing a big game last night in match play. Shot 269. Had to have the strike on his last ball to make it by 1 pin.
Well, he shot 257 the game before that, Earl.
I know, but just think about it. He got into this telecast by one pin over Walter Ray Williams Jr., one of the best players in the world. And here he is, a chance to win it. His dreams could come true right here on ESPN. Be a great show.
Bryan Goebel. Wow, tight inside. Not looping it at all. Trips that forward.
I think you got to look at Norm Duke, the adjustment Norm Duke made over here. He probably came over and watched a little bit or caught it on one of the monitors throughout the building here. Duke made a wonderful adjustment. Just didn't maybe do it quite quickly enough. And then he got that solid 10 pin on the 10th that really put him out of the match. Bryan Goebel playing the same line. This guy can really rev it up.
He can really strike, too.
He can definitely throw a lot of strikes.
He lets Handegard know right away that you better keep striking here, John.
Yeah, they don't get any easier as you go up the ladder. Well, John knows that, and
well, he overcame the solid 8 in the last game.
Sure did. This is the lane he's got to get by.
Perfect.
Ah, he looks tough, doesn't he?
Well, perfect. Well, it's going to come down, Earl, I think, don't you, that whoever carries this guy is going to win.
There's no question. They're both going to hit the pocket a lot. And the only thing I can see stopping Bryan Goebel is maybe a 4-9 or something like that. But I don't think he's going to miss the pocket. Lane condition is conducive to good scores. We've seen them all week. The scores have been phenomenal. Lots of 300 games. As a matter of fact, the top 5 have, what?
122, 300 games between them. Oh, nice break there.
Wouldn't it be nice to see one right here?
Well, John has 24 of them.
Well, and there's a little bonus if you shoot 300.
10 grand.
10 grand from the Professional Bowlers Association. So, something to look for right here. Both these players capable of throwing strikes forever, it seems.
Bryan, another 6-step player.
Ooh, I think he might have got into the oil a little deep there. That ball didn't hit very hard, and Bryan was in a hurry to get back. This is one of the guys that when you watch him go to the foul line, he's got a wonderful game, very slow footwork, great balance, but watch his arms. They just seem to get longer. Sometimes, as Mike mentioned earlier, we were watching, it looked like his arm gets to be about 10 feet long. Watch this, just really goes through the ball at the long and at the bottom and stretches out. Reaches for his target.
Well, 4 in a row.
Maybe we'll have one of those Norm Duke ties here. That would be interesting. 300 to 300.
Well, we can't because John started with a spare.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
300 to 290.
I was all excited there.
John, down in the match, he has to keep striking just to keep the pressure on Goble. Well, for you golf aficionados, we've got the U.S. Women's Open coming from Broadmoor Golf Club in Colorado Springs. That's Thursday, 1 o'clock. Be sure and join us for that.
Well, we've seen 8 balls rolled down the lane. 7 of them are strikes. John Handegard 10 pins behind, a chance to even the match right here.
Doesn't trip the 4. A little slower with that one?
I couldn't tell. I didn't really see that much difference. John, you know, he just his game is so consistent. It's hard to pick out anything that might be a little different there. This is what he missed in that first game. Almost cost him the match, but it was on lane 30.
Not going to miss it twice. Converts that 4-pin.
See the smile on his face, and he was thinking about that first time he missed it.
Bryan Goebel, who has a superstition of sitting in the same seat when he's on television. It doesn't change seats there, so
maybe we ought to tell John that. He go down there and move that chair.
Move that chair, yeah, right.
not backing down at all, is he?
I mean, to tell you, it's hard to catch a guy when he doesn't stop striking.
You know, I'll tell you something, Mike. My observations could be all wet here, but I wonder if the first match, the guys were looking past John Handegard, thinking, well, you know, this guy's a great senior player, but I'm looking for the next one.
This is not the senior tour.
This is not the senior tour. These are the big guys, you know. And now all of a sudden, Bryan Goebel is saying, this guy can play. Let's get serious here.
So can I. Bryan Goebel, because he's got 6 in a row, we're not taking our customary break. We're going to stay right with it until he stops, if he ever does stop. 6 in a row. Handegard right now, while he's not out of the match, he's trailing by 31 pins and has to keep striking to try and put some pressure on Goble.
Oh, and the solid 10. Again, another great shot by John Handegard. Just a little bad luck there. John, the danger he has now, he can still shoot. He has a possibility of something like 250.
258.
258. Now, if he were to strike out and shoot 250, that's still more than Bryan Goebel has at this point. John, the danger he has is he can't just say, well, I'm going to get out of this guy's way and let him bowl 300, you know? He's got to continue, like you said, to put pressure on Bryan Goebel. He's got to make him think that he's still in the match, whether he actually does feel that way or not. He's got to make Bryan Goebel work hard. He might force an error. Who knows?
This is his good lane. Something to get something started on right here.
A little more room with that one. Rolling it right up there.
He's got some room on that lane.
He does, yeah. He's getting a great ball reaction on the left-hand lane. This is, as we mentioned earlier, lane 30 is the one that doesn't have quite the back end, doesn't let the ball hit quite as hard. I mean, we know with Bryan Goebel, his last shot on this lane didn't hit very hard.
For 7. Solid 10, like you say. Now that keeps him in the 240s right now. So John, if he steps up and can strike in the 8th and 9th, can put himself right back in the match.
No question about it. And this is a kind of a letdown for Bryan Goebel also, but at the same time, I'm sure in his mind, he wasn't even thinking 300. He was thinking, I need 2 more strikes to get this match out of the wood. And this is a great shot, solid 10.
See how he straightens that ball out at that 10 pin.
All these guys have so much talent. It's amazing what they can do with a bowling ball, isn't it? Get a look at the score there. The difference of like 31 pin lead. But John Handegard, his next trip to the lanes, can cut 10 pins off of that.
Goble in the 8th frame, trying to get back on the strike track.
Look out.
Oh,
error we talked about, and it's kind of like a letdown, Mike. He threw a great shot, left a solid 10 pin, thinking he could put this match out of the wood, and then all of a sudden he doesn't get it. Maybe a lapse of concentration.
4-6-10. Boy, Handegard's ready. He's salivating, ready to get up there.
He is, and this just might be John's day. Remember, in his first match, he missed an easy spare of the 4-pin. Came back to win it.
Well, can John Handegard come back and defeat another tour player? We're going to take that break right now. We'll find out just as soon as we come back.
When I got rid of my gray hair, I wanted a natural look, so I didn't take any chances. I used the sure thing for a natural look called Just for Men.
Apply Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. It's specially timed to blend away gray, bring back your natural look, and condition hair.
It's a sure thing.
Just for Men, the sure thing for a natural look. And now try Just for Men Color Gel for the hard-to-color hair of mustaches and beards. Brush in, rinse out. Just 5 minutes.
I've stopped playing baseball now, but my son Reed just signed a pro contract. Sometimes we go over his games, and if he asks, I tell him what I know. Like when your muscles get sore, take Advil. Just a couple are strong, fast, and work for me. And Advil's gentle on my stomach.
If it'll work on these old muscles, then I know it'll work on mine.
Nothing's been proven to last longer than Advil. Advanced medicine for pain.
John Handegard, trailing now only by 17 pins, can cut it to 7 if he can strike on lane 30. Oh, perfect perfect, Earl. Perfect.
Well, John's thinking, give me 3 more strikes, and I get rid of this kid and bring on the next pigeon, and let's get this over with. That's all he wants is 3 more strikes, and it's over. What a great shot. Right up the second arrow. John Handegard, watch the pins. This is a dead flush in the pocket. You don't get them any better than that, folks. 10 pins in the pit.
This is for the lead. This is really key right here.
Well, this is a must, because if he doesn't get it, it puts Goble right back in there with a chance to shut him out. So it's going to go back and forth here. John has to strike. Oh, my. What a different shot that was.
It's carried, though. He got it out of the lane. It's still
got it out of the lane and it carried, and that was completely a different shot than what he's been playing on that lane. Remember, he's been given a little room, letting it roll up. He just jammed that one right there.
The frozen rope.
He did.
Suddenly, now Goble finds himself behind for the first time in the match.
Oh, my.
Crunched the 4-pin, but the 7-pin didn't go down, and now suddenly that old fickle momentum, you know, as we say so often in sports, but it really has turned here.
It definitely has, and you can't just get up and just forget about this spare either, because remember, when you go cross lane here, the ball tends to skid. Spares on the left side can be difficult. Pay attention.
At the 7-pin, has it. Bryan Goebel is a very confident player, and he needs to be going into the 10th. You asked him about that confidence earlier.
Yeah, I really think I am. I had a great year last year. My confidence built all year long. Towards the end of the year, I won 2 titles at the very end, throwing the ball great. Coming into this year, throwing the ball great. I always do well in the summer, so starting the summer, I know I can have a good summer. I'm just hoping to go out there and knock them down.
Got it back together for that one.
Yeah, well, knock him down he did there, and he needs one more just to make John Handegard. I got you out there bowling, Mike, and you can see John sitting there, and he might be looking for a little oxygen here, the way things are going.
You just looked at the gray hair and looked at mine and said, there they are.
Well, let me tell you what, right now, John Handegard's heart is getting a real test. He continues to need to get up in the 10th frame and perform time after time. Big strike.
For the lead. And the 4-pin. Boy, once he left that 10-pin back in the 7th frame, he never could put it back together after that.
Never did, and he was really throwing the ball so well, and I didn't see really that much difference in any of these shots that he didn't strike on, except if something stood up, obviously.
Finishes.
Not over yet, though.
Finishes with a conversion. 235. Forces Handegard to count, what, 18 in the 10th?
Well, John's thinking strike. There's no question in my mind that John Handegard right now is thinking strike. I'm going to throw a strike. Concentration. He'll go for the pocket. Aggressive.
For the win. For the win. Oh, and the solid 7. Now he needs to convert this, which he missed the 4-pin on this lane in the first match, and he has to get 9 or better again.
It just doesn't get easy, does it?
That's what he's saying in his mind. Can it ever be easy?
My hands are getting sweaty, and I'm not even bowling. I'm just watching this. Cross lane at the 7th pin.
Is he going to throw it straight at it?
He'll throw it straight and hard. He won't try to hook this. He'll throw it right at it. Great camera shot here.
All right. One part of it done. 9 or better, Earl.
9 or better, and sometimes that's harder to get than a strike. The thing, again, you can't play it safe. There's no such thing as a safe shot in sport of bowling. You have to go after him. You got to go. My opinion, he's going to attack the pocket and go for the strike.
Just like he did the first time.
Just like he did the first time. He will be aggressive. Good ball speed. Get it out in the lane in front of him.
Gave him more room. Oh, it came back. Handegard's too much.
That's how you get that gray hair, getting in those positions time after time.
How come you don't have any? Handegard defeats Goble 237 to 235. We'll be back right after these messages.
Dad?
Yeah?
There's something I want to tell you.
What is it, son?
Well, Dad, you're my dad. And I love you, man.
You're not getting my Bud Light, Johnny.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Ray, forget it, Johnny.
There's a smile in every Hershey bar.
New from Thompson's. Thompson's Wood Protector Deck Finish with natural golden toners to renew lost color and powerful three-way protection from water, sun, and mildew damage. Thompson's Wood Protector Deck Finish. Lasting beauty and protection all in one.
Emma, seems like we've known each other forever.
Yeah, I know. 2 weeks.
Will you marry me? 'Cause Emma, I love you, man.
Oh, Johnny, you're not getting my Bud Light.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down,
Johnny?
make it a Bud Light.
Jane?
It's Joan.
Jane, Joan, whatever. I feel like I've known you forever.
Success, no matter how you define it, the ideas that can help you achieve it are in the Wall Street Journal. For you, success might be more business than you've ever dreamed of. There's one source you can count on to help you reach it, the Wall Street Journal. Call now to order 10 weeks of the Journal for just $38 and get 2 additional weeks free when you pay with your credit card now. That's 12 weeks of the Journal for just $38. Call now toll free, 800-332-1800. That's 800-332-1800.
Now it's time for championship frame. In our opening match, John Handegard took on Mike Aulby, and Alby needed to strike in the 10th frame.
He did, and this is very uncharacteristic for someone of this caliber. Let the shot get away from him. Maybe he tried to hook it a little more, who knows, but it's not Mike Aulby normally, and he lost the match.
Handegard won that match 215 to 205, but that wouldn't be his last victory, would it, Earl?
No, it wouldn't, and it didn't get any easier. So we go through these. Here's another look at the same guy. 10th frame, needs a strike and 9 pins to win the match.
There's the strike. He got the 9 pins. In fact, he got all the pins. Won 239 to 225 over Bowler of the Year, Norm Duke. That led him into the next match against Bryan Goebel. He had to keep striking.
He did, and it looked like Bryan Goebel was just going to put him away, but it came down to John Handegard again, needing 9 pins to win. And John went for them all, folks, and got them all. 10 in the pit.
Can anyone stop John Handegard? Well, Mark Williams is standing there. He says, I'm ready. I haven't won in 7 years, and I'm going to take on John Handegard. And Senior, you're not winning this one. We'll find out right after this.
Football fans, get ready for the all-new 1995 NFL Team Kickoff Kit. Free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. Just tell us your favorite team.
Chargers! Cowboys! 49ers, baby.
And we'll give you an exclusive team video and a fantastic new Sports Illustrated sweatshirt.
We did it, didn't we?
Your Team Kickoff Kit starts with SI's exclusive look at your favorite team with your official 1995 team video free.
A free Cowboys video? I get a free Jets video. Dolphins video? Tell me more.
In your team video, SI will take you behind the scenes to give you an up-close view of football from a different angle and let you know if your team will thrive in 95.
And we got plenty more where that came from.
Then hold on, because there's also an incredible Sports Illustrated sweatshirt coming your way.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Hey, this is great. I'll put it on right now.
This authentic SI logo sweatshirt is yours through this exclusive TV offer, and you won't believe it's free.
Free? Free? I don't believe it. That's fabulous.
It's free when you order 54 issues of Sports Illustrated, including a spectacular pro football preview and, of course, our famous swimsuit issue for only $1.47 an issue. You save over 50% off the cover price. Use your credit card for quicker delivery.
I ain't gonna be denied.
It's an unbelievable package that no real fan can be without.
Football, football, football!
I love football. Call now and get your official team video and authentic SI sweatshirt free. Let's get some, baby. From preseason to the Super Bowl, you'll really have your team covered in 95 with Sports Illustrated's amazing kickoff kit.
I want it. Where do I get it? I want it. I want it.
Nobody gives you more of your team than Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
Mark Williams on the left, John Handegard on the right. And again, the tour player has made John start the match. And we can see that Handegard is striking on both of them equally well, 11 and 11.
It's an amazing statistic because he's worked really hard on lane 30 to get there.
And he's worked really hard to get to this position in his career to bowl for a national title. He did it one other time back in the 70s and lost to Wayne Chester in Salt Lake City, and that has haunted him his whole career.
Well, as we said before, it doesn't get any easier as you go up the ladder. And this is the guy that's led this tournament almost from the get-go. And I'll tell you what, Mike, he's not going to give him anything.
Mark, who averaged .239 this week from Beaumont, Texas. He's 37 years of age. His bowling goal is to win this week.
Tremendous rotation on the bowling ball. Got it up high. But look at that finish.
Oh. What a contrast in styles, too, Earl.
Well, they're not using any part of the lane, either one of them, that the other one's using. Here's another look at Mark Williams. Look at the short backswing, the tremendous rotation of the wrist, and as you mentioned in your tip, Mike, that's what gets that ball back to the pocket. But look at the roll. The heavy roll gives you that kind of carry.
He lost him a little bit, Earl.
Well, he just mentioned something about swinging it. He's got to swing it, he says. What that means is he muscled it a little bit.
Or do you think he meant swing it out on the lane, throw it right?
That could be it, because that's what he did when he needed it in the 10th frame. You're right. I bet that's what he meant. Bryan Goebel, when he beat Bryan Goebel, he gave it a little more room.
Ooh, almost didn't give that enough room. Oops, he says. Handegard looks like he's having a good time out here.
We're going to take another look at that. This is why they put paint on these, Mike. For someone like John to get just enough of it. Doesn't want to damage it. Mark Frank has to buy new pins. See, those Brunswick pins, you got to hit them to get them. 3-pound, 8-ounce Brunswick pins.
No trouble for Handegard on that shot.
This looks kind of like the last match, doesn't it? Where Handegard started spare double. His opponent had 6 in a row, and of course Mark Williams hasn't got to that point yet, but
Mark, who takes very little time, 4-step player. Oh, did that fall late? What hit that?
I don't know, but he's got things going his way right now. Let's take a look at this game, the style of the tournament leader, Mark Williams, and watch how short the backswing is. He doesn't even straighten his arm out, basically. Right here, it's bent at the elbow. Look at the cup wrist. He actually almost rolls it off his wrist, Mike. He gets to the foul line, that long extension, tremendous wrist rotation, and see his elbow pointing straight at the floor. That's where the power comes from.
He's got Handegard's attention right now.
He sure does. You know, I'll tell you, John Handegard has got to feel like he's been scratching and clawing out of a hole all day long. It's just amazing. Every time he gets up there, somebody's throwing a double or 3 or 4 in a row at him.
Oh, but he knocked him down for the double. And if you're at home wondering if anybody can climb the ladder, just look back to last year when Dave Houston defeated Walter Ray Williams Jr. He climbed all the way up, came within 8 pins of breaking the record to win this very tournament. Handegard wants to duplicate that feat tonight, but he has to strike here to keep Mark Williams within reach.
The record you mentioned was the four-game TV record. That's Nelson Burton Jr.
Burton. Oh, now he's running him out.
He is. I'll tell you what, this is getting exciting, folks. It doesn't get any better than this right here. Here's another look at that shot. Look at the rotation. Just picks it up on the end. In contrast, You watch this guy roll the ball, and there's you see John run that one out. But watch how the rotation is on this bowling ball going down the lane. Mark Williams. A lot of difference right here. Got it up high, got a break.
Well, he did get a break knocking that 10-pin out of there. He throws it just a hair slower, Earl, and it goes high. I mean, he knocked the 4-9 out in the second frame, and now he had almost the 4-10 here in the fifth frame.
Well, when Mark makes a mistake, and here we look at that shot again, it seems he makes it high. Very seldom misses to the right as far as getting the ball. The way he rotates the ball, it very seldom doesn't get back to the pocket. But if he makes a mistake, he generally gets some ungodly split of some kind by going through the middle of the head pin, and they get what I call the resin reactive splits, you know, the reactive bowling ball splits. You get 3 pins on this side and 4 or 5 on the other. It's a mess.
What that does, though, is that puts Handegard within 9 pins.
And actually with the hammer, you might say, because he's on a strike, you take the lead with 1 strike.
Boy, that pin was coming over to get it. Something got in its way there. A little interference here. We need a flag coming out here.
Too many scouts going down there.
Watch this.
Watch what happens. Pin coming from the right side of the lane. Pin coming from the left side of the lane. And they combine, and that stopped him. Mike, got a good eye there, kid. For a young man.
At the 4-pin, has it. Handegard now can take the lead in the match for the first time here in the 6th frame.
I wonder what's going through his mind, how he feels physically right now inside, how his heart's doing.
Well, I think that he's excited. I really think that he's not nervous, but just excited.
This is what he's dreamed about, right? Just to be here.
He swung it, and it went high. Oh, he tripped the 4!
Well, he's got that rollout going for him right now. It's going good. The crowd is really into it, and guess who they're pulling for? The old man, John Handegard. He's got it going, and here's another look at that shot. Watch his ball straighten out right there. That's the old rollout. Gets up, sets up in the pocket. John's reaction, and the crowd reaction behind him. It's almost got them jumping out of their chairs.
Handegard leads by 2, trying for 5 in a row on his good lane.
Boy, is he carrying well. He's got the ball entering at such a great angle, nothing can stand.
Up by 12.
Mark Williams has to be feeling it. Remember, it's been 7 long years for him since he won. He lost the Masters Championship from the from the lead just a week or so ago.
Well, that rolled out right at the pocket. You know, he led this tournament. He led the ABC Masters. I talked to him about how hard it is to lead tournaments out here.
Well, I've never led 2 tournaments in a row, and since I haven't won in 7 years, it's real important I win. I thought I should have won the Masters, and I just didn't bowl a good game on TV. I'm going to have to bowl 240 or 250 today. I think I can do it. The conditions have been great for me with the fresh oil, and I'm just going to go for all I got.
Down by 12. High. Oh, my goodness gracious. The 4, 6, 7, and Earl, that's just what you said. When he makes a mistake, he makes it high.
Yeah, and that's heartbreaking right now for Mark Williams, but John Handegard, on the other hand, has to be thinking, I've got to stay aggressive. I can't just get out there and think I've got this one. I've got to go out and make good shots.
Oh, my goodness! Oh, my goodness!
Can you believe this, folks? This is unbelievable.
I almost missed it.
We're going to look at it again. He throws it hard and straight. Watch the pin action up out of the pit, and his reaction was unbelievable. Look at his eyes. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Puts him right back in the match.
How will that affect Handegard? Got it out of the lane. Oh, another trip 4.
My, what a match. Look at John. He's got that smile on his face. He's pretty comfortable right now. This is amazing. A guy going for his first national title, even though he has 10 senior titles. What a thrill this would be for John Handegard.
And amazing here. We've got a guy going for his first national title at age 57, and another guy who hasn't won in 7 years. Somebody's going to break a string somewhere.
That's right. And you said, how is this going to affect Handegard when he picked up that 4.67 by Mark Williams? Not at all. Look at this guy.
Oh, 7 in a row.
He's got him going from every direction now. Hit him thin and watch him spin. The 4.57, the last 3 pins down, just enough. This is what the angle will do for you. Playing outside, coming in from that second arrow, it'll carry those pins off the wall like that.
Mark Williams has got to strike it out.
Handwriting's on the wall. He knows he needs them all.
Perfect. Interesting. He chose to finish on the left lane, and it's been giving him more trouble. What kind of adjustment does he make in the 10th?
I don't think he's going to make an adjustment. I think he might have made a mistake, and you don't make an adjustment off a mistake. I think that 4-6 was a mistake on his release. I think he's going to stay where he was. He's just going to make a good shot.
Has to have this one. Trips the 4, still alive.
Well, John can do it, I can do it, right? What a match.
Could strike it out for 248, which would make Handegard mark.
It seems like all day long, John's had to get up in the 10th frame and perform. Just amazing. And every player just demonstrates their ability to put him in that position. The great shots they're making under pressure.
Well, Mark Williams is doing his part. He said he needed to bowl 240 or 250, and he's going to do that. He's going to bowl 248 with a strike here.
It'll be interesting to see your observation, John Handegard, on lane 30 when he said, I got to let it swing, remember? And you felt it was the lane. He had to swing the ball in the lane. It'll be interesting to see if he does that in the 10th frame when he needs to make the good shot.
247.
Because I feel if he swings it, he can get in trouble. The ball might go early on him and go too high on the head pin. So,
well, you know, he's been high really the last 2 shots. Does he make an adjustment or what?
No adjustment. Not now. I just think you just pick the speed up a little bit. Same target, pick the speed up. Don't give it a lot of room.
Needs a mark to win.
That's it! What a day for John Handegard. Standing ovation from this packed crowd, Mike.
Absolutely amazing.
Well, we said he was the best senior bowler in the world. He's given his kids something to think about, hasn't he?
He can't believe it. One more and he's going to finish with 280, as he just says, unbelievable. Says it again, unbelievable. And I bet you in his mind at age 57, it really is. What a rush, he says.
Well, tomorrow is when he'll really, he'll wake up in the morning and say, hey, I'm a champion.
278. John Handegard finishing with 8 in a row, or 9 in a row, 278 to Mark Williams, 247. Becomes the oldest champion in PBA history. Well, I know you want to hear from this champion. We'll be back to talk to him right after these messages.
How would you describe Elsie Jordan's Grill and Bar?
Savory.
Scrumptious.
How about the atmosphere and service?
Comfortable with great service.
We're now featuring Lancaster County's best clam bake on Wednesday nights. Includes steamed clams, corn on the cob, and either chicken or lobster tail. Call for reservations. Thursdays are shrimp and ribs nights. Steamed shrimp and barbecued ribs by the pound, or feast on prime rib au jus, marsala, or blackened.
Now, how would you describe Elsie Jordan's in one word?
Sensational.
Elsie Jordan's Grill and Bar, conveniently located between Harrisburg and Lancaster, 1 mile south of 283.
At Jubilee, we've got what you want, including a wide selection of the finest quality meats, cold cuts, and fresh fruit, perfect for every occasion. And with Gold Tie service, you'll always find everything you need and a friendly smile only at Jubilee Foods in Elizabethtown, where freshness is guaranteed.
Drivers in the world's fastest cars. Compete this Sunday morning at 8:50 Eastern in the Grand Prix of Britain. Formula One, the art of motor racing, only on ESPN.
John Handegard, who's won his first national title. John, we've got the shot on videotape here of the one that did it for you. Take a look at it. Tell us about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was just so nervous. I just hope I keep it online. You know, when I was going in, I was thinking 10-pin possibly, but how elated I was, I didn't have to shoot that.
Well, right now, Mark Frank has got a nice presentation for you. First of all, he's got this beautiful trophy.
On behalf of Celebrity Bowl and the bowlers here in the Tri-Cities, I'd like to congratulate John Handegard for a beautiful win here. Excellent bowling, John.
It means a lot to me, you know. When you get my age, you don't get too many chances at something like this, so I knew this was probably my last pop at it. It's so difficult to make a show out here with these guys. There's so much talent out here, and when I made the show last night, I was just hoping I'd get on and just keep grinding it out. I would feel very fortunate to win this. This is really great.
Well, we're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we'll have a chance to talk a little more in depth to this newest, oldest champion.
Emma, seems like we've known each other forever.
Yeah, I know. 2 weeks.
Will you marry me? 'Cause Emma, I love you, man.
Oh, Johnny, you're not getting my Bud Light.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
Johnny?
Make it a Bud Light.
Jane?
It's Joan.
Jane, Joan, whatever. I feel like I've known you forever.
You're beautiful. You're everything I ever wanted.
If you love your car, what you put on it should be more than just a wax. New Zymol Natural Liquid Auto Polish protects your finish with beeswax and shines with rare Brazilian carnauba. Safe, naturally derived ingredients. So pure, powerful, perfect.
Oh, so beautiful.
New Zymol Natural Liquid Auto Polish.
Oh, summer kind of makes you want to eat outside, doesn't it? Well, with Long John Silver's new Big Fish Feast, it's no picnic. It's a party. It's our famous Fish and More multiplied to feed 4. Legendary batter-dipped fish, fries, coleslaw, hush puppies, plus golden corn. Perfect for a tasteful family outing or an outrageous eating adventure. And it's an outstanding deal for less than $3 a meal. Now at Long John Silver's. And hurry in for our value meals starting at $1.99.
It was 2 a.m. I got an asthma attack just as my daughter started crying for me. I felt like I was going to suffocate. It wasn't the time to try some unknown brand. That's why I trust Primatene Mist.
Primatene starts to open clogged breathing passages and relieve bronchial spasms in as fast as 15 seconds.
She depends on me. I depend on Primatene Mist.
Primatene Mist, fastest type asthma relief without a prescription.
The most exciting night this Tuesday night. John, I want to take you back to 1978 in Salt Lake City, which I know was maybe the biggest disappointment of your career when you lost there in Wayne Chester Beach in the final match. Does this heal all those wounds?
Well, those those wounds healed a long time ago. I felt bad about that, but I don't dwell on failure, you know, really. You can't. I feel great that I got myself in a position to win again.
As you were warming up tonight and looking at the other guys play, did you really feel that maybe the lane conditioning would give you an opportunity if you performed to win your first title?
Well, the lanes have been great all week, and I had pretty much the same shot, so I knew that if I bowled good enough, I could stay close, and as long as I wasn't shut out, I'd have a chance. And it turned out that I got a lot of real good breaks because my opponents had some mistakes that turned things in my favor.
And you took advantage of them. With us also is the runner-up this week, bowled a beautiful 247 game. Earl, you got a question for him?
Well, Mark, it looked like it was going to be your week. Everything was going your way. Your carry was tremendous all through the match play. You bowled some tremendous scores. The television pair was yours. You owned it. What happened?
Well, 247 or whatever I bowled is not too bad a game. I said before the show I thought I could bowl that. I averaged almost 240, and I averaged real good in the mornings on the fresh oil. And, you know, I worked the shot down to where I was able to get into fourth arrow. I thought I had a good shot. I was just hooking the ball a little bit too much. I couldn't keep it flush enough. And, you know, John just hardly ever made a mistake all day. If he made a mistake, it was a 10-pin, you know, which that's not a bad mistake. Mine were 4 6s, and But I can make those, so that's okay.
Well, we'll be back to talk to these two guys a little bit more after this important message. Don't go away.
Yeah, these little people need you all right. But how about when you're selling your home? Who do you lean on? Call a Century 21 professional.
Hold it. This isn't you, it's an older guy. Oh, that was before I got rid of my gray hair with Just for Men hair color.
Come on, that's too natural to be hair coloring.
Just for Men. Apply and in 5 minutes rinse. Gray is blended away for a totally natural look.
Think it'll work for me? In 5 minutes.
Just for Men looks too natural to be hair coloring. And now try Just for Men Color Gel for the hard-to-color hair of mustaches and beards. Brush in, rinse out. Just 5 minutes.
All right, we're back again. Earl, you got a question for John?
Very, very briefly, John, this is, you said already, one of the biggest thrills of your life. Think about the Firestone, the Brunswick World Tournament of Champions now. What's going to happen there?
You know, I hadn't even considered that. I forgot about that totally. So it's another tournament to bowl, isn't it? You get another chance to make some money.
It's a lot of money, John. But now you're a champion. You're a PBA champion. You're a 10-time senior champion. Is this a bigger thrill than any of those?
It certainly is. Much more difficult to obtain, I think, too.
You beat some classy players.
Mark Williams, you got behind, you left the 4, 6, 7. I know you had to be really deflated. Suddenly you made it. What'd you think then?
I actually thought I could make it. There's 2 pair right in this area of the house where we made some 4 6s and 7 10s this week. I was going for it. If you're mad enough, you can do a lot of things. I was really mad. But, you know, I knew I still had a chance if I struck out. John had already missed 1 4-pin. I was hoping he'd try for another one, but he just put it right there. He threw it like a real champion.
You got up in the 10th. You had to strike out to have any kind of chance at all. Did you make any other adjustment after the 4 6 then?
Well, I moved another board, the first shot in the 10th, and another one in the second shot, but I guess the lane just broke down a little bit because, you know, I was lined up on that lane real good in practice, and I never expected to miss the pocket on that lane, but I really needed a strike when I did 4 6. That, you know, as it turns out, that was the end of the match right there.
Well, John Handegard, a very special day for you. We want to congratulate you, and we're going to have to say so long right now. For Earl Anthony, this is Mike Durbin saying goodbye. Remember, join us next week in the City of Roses, Portland, Oregon, for the Oregon Open at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Stay tuned for SportsCenter coming up next.